Welcome back to the Dean Obeidallah Show. It's Friday, August 8th, and even though I'm in San Francisco, it's still time for what just happened. We have three great returning champions. Maureen Langan's back, a Bloomberg TV and radio journalist turned
Woo!
stand-up comedian, a
Woo-woo.
semifinalist in last season America's Got Talent. Her drive-by comedy special is called Don't Make Me Hate You, and she hosted a radio show in San Francisco for 7 years. Maureen, good to see you.
I'm glad you're out there, and big shout out to the show home. I hear it's doing great. So
Hen Show. Yeah, the entire week has been an infomercial for Hen Show because I wanted people to come out. Also Keith Price is back. Also, hopefully he'll
hello.
come to the show. He is a theater person, comedian, actor, writer, a regular on this show and many others, and host the podcast Keith Price's Curtain Call, available on Broadway World and other places. Hey Keith, nice to see you.
Hey, Habibi, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, hanging out here. This is a great city. I got to be honest. And look who's also back. Dustin Chafin, who's always on the road. Texas-born, New York City-raised comic out on the West Coast, is on the new episode of WTF with Mark Maron, on tour with Nate Bargatze, headlining this year's Burbank Comedy Festival. Good for you, brother. How is everything?
Excellent. Yeah, it's
Woo.
early, huh? We're here in California together.
I know we are. That's why we moved it an hour later for our time, because I'm like,
I was
no,
so happy. I was like, this is great.
This is great. We should do this all the time for Dustin. All right, so let's talk. There's some issues. Some are fun. Some are serious. The one that's kind of dominating the news this week is Texas redistricting. Trump is so confident that they have such great ideas, Republicans, that he's panicking to change the districts, add 5 seats in Texas. Because if their policies and the law, the big horrible bill was any good, you wouldn't have to do that. But they know it's not going well. And Democrats are fighting back right now, which is actually great. The governor of California, Newsom, Hochul in New York. You have had J.B. Pritzker in Illinois fighting back. So it's been kind of odd to see Democrats fighting back. So, Maureen, what do you think, my friend? It's the runaway Democrats. They're chasing them now. It's the fugitive's name is Representative Richard Wu. And they're like, get him. Like, it's unbelievable how they're doing this.
the Democrats had to do something, and without them giving them a quorum, they can't do this. But they also can't do other things that are important to people too. So that's not always great. But what I want to understand,
How dare you put balance in this segment?
I know, I'm
How
so
dare you? This
so
is
not-
ridiculous.
who grew up in an alcoholic family and wants everybody to be happy? Could it be me? So here's the deal. I think that what I'm trying to understand, though, is during census years, they can redistrict and do
Sure.
all of this. And
Mhm.
but why? This is almost unheard of, isn't it? This
They did it once before.
Exactly.
Keith wants to take it. What? Keith, tell us.
No, I'm just saying that again. That's why we do the census every 10 years for the redistricting and all of that effort that we put into that. Having been someone who's actually worked as a census taker, hello.
Oh,
I do not want to see my work just be disparaged. But here's the thing, like, again, another moment of unprecedented Republican behavior going basically unchecked in our society, where we have had things like, the folks who are at Miami, where they've recalled that they're not going to do an election this year, and they're
for
gonna
mayor, they
wait-
put it off. Like,
yeah,
elections
for
are so
another year.
last
So,
year.
so these people are now, because the Civil Rights Act has been dismantled. When it
The
comes
Voting
to
Rights
the Voting Rights Act has been dismantled. So they've going at every opportunity to take away people's right to vote, and it's so disheartening and it's disgusting because we see it,
Mhm.
but at the same time, what is really truly being done? It's like, okay, yes, go hide and be away from the thing and do a quorum, not have the quorum so they can do it again. I applaud that. That's really great. And as Maureen said, it's like you're still not doing the other work. But the bottom line is that other work, they don't care about any of that, because it's, that whole design is not meant for
Right.
anyone that's a Democrat to benefit from to begin with. So, like, they've got to stay away from all of that to make this happen. But we're still fighting with
Right.
this. Like,
I'm hiding two Texas Democrats in the apartment here. We haven't. Don't talk. By the way, Keith, as a census taker, did you actually talk to people, or did you look at an apartment and go 8 people and just write it down and walk away?
no, the thing is that when you're a big burly black man during the pandemic wearing a
Wow.
mask, yeah,
Like, look, Black
so look-
Santa's here.
Yeah,
Everybody,
exactly. Show it up. Hey, hi, how are you? The thing is that there were not lots of people still here. That was the other thing.
Ah.
That was one of the reasons why New York lost a seat, because um,
Good point.
most of the places, like the giant high rises, those places were vacant during that period, and so you couldn't really count anybody, which was
I hear.
oddly part of that.
So Dustin, you're from Texas originally. You've traveled all over here. They're
Yeah.
really kind of, it's like a panic mode though. They try to be cowboys and we're tough and all this stuff. And they're like, we're going to get them and we're going to arrest them. And I want the FBI to get them. And they're really whining. Ken Paxton, Greg Abbott.
Yeah, I think the Democrats just hide in a library. They'll never find you there. You know what I mean? Like,
Republicans will never go to the library. So what happened? In Texas, when you were growing up, were the parties more like normal? Because now the GOP it's way off the rails. This is insane. They want to rig an election right in front of us.
well, I mean, Texas is a beautiful place, and it's unfortunate. There's so many of us have been fighting. I mean, I was a goth kid in the '90s. I've been fighting this forever. This Texas mentality.
Baby, I grew up and I was a big. Look at me, I'm a big sissy from Texas, so you know.
He's from Texas,
You know
too.
my fight. You know
Yes.
my fight. Yeah.
I know your struggle.
Maureen, are you any connection to Texas whatsoever?
I did. I performed there once, and I brought a
And they
pocket full of
they-
morning after pills for all the girls.
You did. So you did one show in Texas and then they banned you from the entire state?
So
They have
you
a
know what?
picture of you at
I
the border?
had done some corporate stuff there, but I actually did a comedy club in Texas last year, and I thought the people were lovely and wonderful, some misguided, and I try to help people. So I went there to try to help them.
You're a helper. That's right.
Like,
And you know, it's interesting.
Plan
So
B.
John,
That's crazy merch, by the way.
morning after pill. She's selling condoms and morning after pills.
I do. That's what I got on my merch table, baby.
That's Maureen Langan's
Right.
merch. So it's interesting. So John Cornyn, one of the two Republican senators in Texas, sent a letter to the FBI saying, you got to find these guys in other states. Use the resource of the FBI. They've not accused of any crime. It's not even a crime in Texas to leave to break the quorum. It's just political maneuvering. And the FBI is like, well, we're going to look into it. But the FBI, you know what they're really good at? Finding child sex ring predators. And why aren't they going after the people who Jeffrey Epstein had sex with that they've never prosecuted? How about that? I mean, I hate to be like, let's be honest for a second here. The more they do this stuff, the more I realize Trump's involved. I mean, got to be honest with Epstein. I don't know what
How
level.
did Ghislaine Maxwell, however you say her name,
Elaine, sure.
Ghislaine Maxwell, end up in like one of these federal kind of nice camps for prisoners, like where they send the housewives of New Jersey, that type, where you get to yoga and you get certified and become an instructor. Yeah, how is this freaking possible? Like, I don't understand what is she saying I will never say if you put me in Texas where I can knit and quilt all day? Give me one of them. Where can I make parfait Sundays? Give me that one and I'll never out Trump. There's some, come on.
Exactly.
And you know what I hate? What bothers me so much is there's so many women out there who have something to say, who can testify, who can say what Epstein did, but it doesn't matter unless we get it from like a man. Once a white guy comes out who's Republican and says, we want to know the names, then people go, all right. It has no credibility when it comes from a woman. It makes me so angry.
And I want to get Keith and Dustin to chime in on too, but just so people to remind people, and I try to do this every time. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted of 5 felonies for organizing a child sex ring where she participated in the rape of children. She didn't just groom them; she raped the children herself as well. She was known as the enforcer, according to one of the victims, Sarah Ransom. This is a woman who helped Trump, who would literally grab the woman's arms and push them in the room so Epstein could rape them. And she was engaged in, and she's the reason Epstein were able to recruit 14-year-old girls and 15-year-old girls who never would have talked to Jeffrey Epstein, who was a creepy guy in his 50s. She went up to them. So she is as bad as they come. And she had to get special permission to be moved from the prison in Florida, Alligator Alcatraz, where she should have been, to this nice Texas Club Fed type of thing. So Keith, what's your reaction to this insanity here? And what do you think the promise was?
Well, clearly the promise is not to say anything about Trump. I mean, if she was going to say anything, I wish she would have already said it by now, if that were the case. But again, here we are watching, because it sounds to me like, the angry black guy. But again, here we are with white people not knowing how to punish other white people. Because I tell you, if Ghislaine Maxwell looked like me, honey, there would be no conversation. If I had participated in any of that kind of madness, my ass would be underneath a jail somewhere. Even if I could have gotten in on the sweetheart deal that Jeffrey Epstein had gotten, because just like in the movies, the black person always gets they always kill the black person in the horror movie. You know what I'm saying? So like
Right.
that to me is what's disgusting. And the thing is that again, we're watching it happen in real time. Because again, if people had really truly taken any of this shit seriously from the very beginning, we would not be where we are right now at all. This whole Jeffrey Epstein thing.
I'm a little mad at Keith because I feel they sent you out as a census taker, and that's the reason we don't have more Democratic seats, because people aren't answering the doors because of you. So I feel you are the reason, the problem. Why can't they send out like nice, crisp-looking white guys, and we'd have a lot more Democrat? No, but I'm sorry, I'm jumping in here, but
that would have scared other people. Though there's a white guy at the door. Don't go out there.
Exactly.
Exactly is right. But you know what? I am jumping in here because you know who does know the girls? Why aren't we asking the girls?
Some of them don't want to come forward. Some do. I mean, there's been so many documentaries on Netflix. There was the one Filthy Rich about Epstein, like a 4-parter. I really recommend it to people because it's based on the book. Many of the young women who are now, they're young women now, they were children then, went forward. Virginia Giuffre, who killed herself a few months ago after all this trauma, was talking about it forever. No one listened to her. But then she got paid a settlement. And, you have to go back to 2007 and 2008 when Bush's U.S. attorney in Florida, Alex Acosta, gave a sweetheart deal to Epstein. When they knew at least 35 children were raped by Epstein, they gave him a deal where he served it in less than a club fed, like in a minimum security local prison where he had day release every day, and he only served 13 months. This guy is connected to the Republican Party and to Democrats too. I'm not trying to say it's a Republican Democrat thing, but it's been Republicans that protect him, then later Democrats protected him. He is that connected. And Pam Bondi, she was AG of Florida, 2011, 2019. She never investigated him. Women were coming forward. She did nothing for them, and she made child sex rings one of her top priorities. But on Epstein, she turned away because he was that connected to the powers that be of the political establishment on the right and the left. This is remarkable.
Which is probably the reason why she's sitting exactly where she is sitting.
Yeah, she knows a lot of crap. And a lot of
and to be honest, I don't think it matters if she's black or white. If she can help Trump, then she's going to get a pass. That's just how it is. It's like a game. It's like Game of Thrones. But King rules. Trust me, it doesn't matter. If she was black and she could help him, he would think that would make him look better. He would totally,
Well, but again, what I'm saying is the discussion that would be happening right now would not be happening. There would not have been, even if she does have anything that could clear Trump, nobody's going to believe it. So in the end, it's going to be a Pyrrhic victory at this point for whoever that person might be. But I'm telling you that the way that the justice system flows, there is no chance in hell that someone that looks like me engaged in any level of this would be walking away getting a sweetheart deal for nothing. Trust me.
What about P. Diddy?
He's still sitting there.
He's going to get away. Trust me.
He's sliding around with that baby oil, honey.
Okay,
he's still sliding.
He got off on a lot of charges.
He did. Well, they didn't convict him. That's the jury system. But do you think Trump's going to pardon him? Because right now his lawyer is asking him, because at one point they were buddies, and not because Trump was involved in the freak office, because P. Diddy was a famous guy and Trump was a famous guy in New York. They ran in similar circles. They know each other. Do you think he's going to, Maureen, let me start with you. Do you think Trump's going to pardon P. Diddy because it's a celebrity?
I don't think so, because he said that he says some not nice things about him.
Oh, that's how it goes.
Some nice things about him. No, don't know. I'm still stuck on this Mar-a-Lago thing because Epstein got the girls from Mar-a-Lago.
Exactly.
Some of them, not all of them. Some of them,
but some of them. And that was what Trump's friendship, because he took the girls, and he knows damn well.
He stole my workers. He said
my
his sex workers.
So anyway, I don't think he's going to pardon Diddy, but I still. What the heck is Ghislaine doing, and what did she say that got her this?
She's a perjurer. She said she's one of the worst people out there. She said exactly what Trump's lawyer wanted, and she got this deal, and maybe she gets a pardon. I think a pardon would be kind of hot for Trump. It would cause a backlash. But then again, he pardoned the January 6th terrorists who beat up police officers, and the GOP is the party of the police. So, these things pass. Like they become a story for a week. It's over. Done next week. Oh, something else. Next hour. I mean, not even next week.
Though these minimum security federal prisons, they don't usually put sex offenders in there because they become targets to be killed. Not that I'm saying I want her to be killed.
Well, and that might be another.
So let's see. I'm not wishing that. I'm not saying that.
I understand.
But I'm wondering, wink, not. I'm just saying that I wonder, is that a plan? I mean,
things happen. Sopranos, God forbid, she's in the plane. Things happen. Boom, a broom, bang, something in the head.
He'll just bomb another country to distract everybody. That's what he'll do.
He'll do. All right, so let's shift gears for a second. Look, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a bloated guy in a golf cart. It's Dean Cain, former Superman. Now he's going to be an ICE agent. He's 59. He signed up to be, I'm not kidding, folks. This is not a joke. This is real. Dean Cain, the guy who played ICE. And look, I'm just glad he's working again because it's been a tough run since Superman. And he posted a video to his Instagram account saying he joined ICE and urging others. And behind him, the Superman theme played, which I hope that the studio that owns it sues him for copyright infringement. That's what I'm really hoping. So he is signing up. So you got Dean Cain, who I have nothing against personally. He's a right winger, but this is like so pathetic. What do you think, Keith? Who's next? Kid Rock as a general? I mean, what are we going to have here?
Well, again, you know what? I want all of these self-righteous, insane, angry white men to go ahead and join up with ICE because I'm telling you, the Haitians and the Dominicans, they're all sitting around doing their spells. They're getting their Santeria working. They're getting their voodoo working. And if that's going to take him out, then so be it. Because I'm telling you, it's sort of like, I don't know how much longer are we going to just keep like what does this man think? I guess is this just like Shaq wanting to be a police officer at one time, or when Sylvester Stallone, didn't he do like a moment of a reality moment when he wanted to be a police officer? Like it's like okay, but now this guy is looking to go in and mess with other people's lives, and I think that to me, whatever karma comes to him from that, I hope that it is the most destructive ever that comes to him. And I say that because he is now putting himself in a place to be destructive to other people. And now, since you're going to take that on, everything that comes to you, just like Miss Seeley, whatever you do, I've done to you. It's like you've got to go.
I mean,
I've got nothing for you.
This is what happens. This is what happens when your Actors Access subscription expires. You know what I mean? That's why you have to stay on top of your stuff.
This is what happened. So, Maureen, is this like Elvis joining the army?
No,
I mean, what do you think?
It's not. What we're missing here. There's a really key word here in the article: honorary ICE officer.
Oh, honorary. Oh no, he's
like
not even
a
real
doctor.
one.
You know what I mean? When you get a doctorate from the college that you finished,
like Bill Cosby.
Honorary. So this is all BS. It's a PR campaign. That's what it is.
Wonderful.
PR campaign. Maureen Langan read every detail. You're welcome. And then it said, when asked by that Jesse piece of crap, I left my wife and family waters, but I'm better than you on Fox, said,
it's a nice name. That's his formal name. Just
yeah. So it's a little half Japanese too.
Will he be hopping out of does that mean we can go back to the internment camps? What are we doing? So
work. You better work, Maureen.
When
you better work, Mo.
Huh?
I said you better work, Mo.
I go to work. Would he be hopping out of ICE vans and apprehending the guys? Superman said he would do anything that Todd Lyons, another human piece of crap, the director of ICE, asked him to do, but he doubted he would be put in that position. No, because you're honorary. But his parents want him to wear a mask. Maybe they don't want to see his face. Maybe that's what it is.
Ooh.
I don't know. But his parents said they want him to wear a mask. He says, no chance in hell. It's just so ridiculous.
I don't want to wear a mask because he wants to get cast in something. They're finally going to see me.
Right.
Like this is an audition for this guy. I mean, it's a hard business. I'm telling you, women and men, you get older, it's hard to get cast.
I might join ICE. I might join now. You're telling me this is help my career.
It's a career move. Everyone's going to join.
You know what?
Health insurance.
They should do a reality show. The ICE agent reality show. Why not? For all the Trumpers, John Voight could be like the host of it. All the Trump people come together.
That's a pretty good pitch. That's a good pitch, Dean.
Dean, I know that's the best thing. Where's Scott Baio in all of this? Like, you would think he would want the work. He's been kind of quiet.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get involved. He knows.
I wonder if they're going to say, Dean Cain, can you see into that truck? Are there people in there? That kind of stuff. Like, I'm not really Superman. The Ice Age is like, they're like, I thought you were Superman. So it's interesting. But I also find another thing in the world of entertainment, in a way that intersects the politics, is South Park. The new episode again. The last episode we talked about. The new one here is really good. With an impish JD Vance offers to help a micro penis Donald Trump have sex with the devil, saying, "Would you like me to apply the baby oil to Satan's asshole boss?" I'm just reading the lines, folks. And Christy Nome is depicted as killing a bunch of puppies. She did kill one in real life. That kind of stuff. And I think it's interesting. JD Vance tried to laugh it off like, yo, I finally made it type of thing. And people are attacking him. But look, this is more risque stuff than corporate media does. You've got Colbert, Daily Show with John, the other host, and you've got this. This is where we are. I mean, I don't know where else to look to. So, Dustin, what do you think? Do you think the role of comedy can play some kind of role in the time of Trump when corporate people work for corporate media are self-censoring and bending a knee?
I mean, they should win a Pulitzer for this. It's so funny. And they were so smart at like making the deal and then releasing the episode. Like it was like incredible. So there's nothing they can do. They don't want to get rid of this show. This is the only thing Comedy Central has. You know
I know.
I mean? It's like the Daily Show and South Park are all they have. And Daily Show, God knows how long that's going to last. But I think that we're more important. Voices in comedy are more important than anything. I mean, it's like we make an impact, and it's like we're out there. We're the modern day philosophers. We have to be seen and heard. So hopefully, people let them get away with this stuff. But there's nothing they can do. They don't want to get away with it, but they're just like they don't care. That's what's so great about that episode. It's so freaking funny when they're like shooting angels and stuff. And then they're able to just mock their whole agenda in one episode. It's phenomenal.
Yep.
They do some good stuff. Maureen, what do you think? I found interesting that Christy Nome, who was mocked in it, she puts on Twitter, X, whatever, wait, so irrelevant. And then she does hashtag eat a bag of dicks. And when you have
very
a cabinet official
saying, Louis C.K. joke.
I know, like eat a bag of dicks. You're like, you're just like, this is the best you got. You couldn't. And for her, I mean, maybe it's projection. I don't know what she does.
Well, you know what? I think she meant buy a bag of dicks so you can throw them on the stadium floors of women playing basketball. I think that's what she really meant.
Oh, the whole the sex toys being
way to connect that. Nice job.
You really.
Okay.
Maureen's winded now. Look at you. A lot of work there.
Work, honey.
Look at her. So, but Maureen, what do you think about the role of comedy in that? In the clubs, comics are doing stuff. It doesn't get on TV, but they're hitting Trump.
I love it. And there's actually funny women who could host shows too. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff out there, and even black guys. There's more people with voices that need to be heard. And I think it's paramount. I went over to Europe for 5 weeks. I just got back from a tour because you could speak even more freely, and then it makes you braver when you come back, which is what I like. It makes you braver because you kind of get your feet wet saying things, and we have to do it even more and more. But people get bananas. I mean, I've had people curse me out, scream at me, horrible things because I said Trump was caught with a stripper. I would have been more shocked to have been caught with a book. Some lady just
that's great.
Stop it. He reads. He loves the classics, Lord of the Lies, Nasty Little Women, Catcher in the Pussy. Those are his favorite. And then you never made fun of Biden. I go, because I was raised that you don't speak ill of the dead. That's why. So I had to balance it out. But I would have
right.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on your audience. I mean, I've been playing cruise ships, and that's the hardest thing about playing cruise ships is not calling the guy a pedo at the gym wearing a Trump hat. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah, that's hard doing the. You have to be a lot of things to a lot of people on the cruise ships, and you have the kid with the ice cream cone up front. You have the guy who's about to die in his wheelchair in the breathing tube.
Yeah, it's tough.
You've got people who are like, I don't want to do this. I'm tired. It's hard, but that's where you make. You pay your bills and you do the stuff that works for everybody, right?
Very much so. I get it. So, Keith, what did you think of the South Park? Do you think they're going to get at some point canceled? Because there's a new owner now, Skydance. The merger's done.
Yep.
So Skydance bought Paramount. Skydance, the new CEO, his dad's a big Republican, Larry Ellison from Oracle, and gives millions to Republicans. He's friends with Trump. He wasn't, to be fair, his dad wasn't a big time pro-Trumper because it's just some weird quirks, but he's been at the White House and loves the Republican agenda. So what do you think? You think they let this have this? They got rid of Colbert. Like, well, let South Park. It's only on a few episodes a year. I mean, you have probably 6 or 8, and then they'll come back in a year or 2 years or something.
Well, what will happen is they'll just run out that first run and then not have them back. But it's that easy. It's they could shut it down now if they want to, but at the same time, as you said before, this is making a lot of money for them, regardless of how
money.
People are tuning into this, and lots of people are tuning into it now. So, if this is how, you could change the thought process of some of those people out there by using this ridiculous level of humor to get to them, or anger them enough to like show their faces so that we know who they are. I guess it's okay at this point. I mean, this is, and again, it's going to sound like me, but this feels like this is the revenge of the frat boy to me, and that's what's happening. And so the frat boys are having their moment now. The frat boys were the ones that came in and rallied around Stephen Colbert, to make sure that their bro was hooked up. But at the same time, when Joy Reid and all those folks at MSNBC got canned, there was no party, there was no celebration, there was no, we all got to get together and help. None of that was there for them. So, I'm very, I see this as great that, but this is something that's an allowance that I'm not going to ever have the privilege of being able to ever do. Because no one's at this point, no one's offered me $1.9 billion for any of my ideas. So I'm not going to have that kind of power to wield. And so I'm glad that they're doing this. I'm glad that they know that they are lucky because they are in a position to be able to take whatever financial hits come their way, because that has been a staple for them for years. And don't think about, I don't take the Book of Mormon, the show, lightly as well. That's a moneymaker for them. Yeah. So they are in a place where they can afford to be this outspoken and be able to handle the hits that may come to them. Because even if they cancel the show, they still got that money. And even if they try to sue them for that money, unless the courts stay jacked up the way they are, they're going to get to keep that money. So again, I'm glad that they're doing it, but I don't see ultimately the effectiveness of what it's going to do for someone like me. Like, this is great. I'm glad they're having their moment, but I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go.
I understand.
So are you saying that? Yeah. Are you saying like it's like the Trump? I always call it the bros, like the whole Joe Rogan, Trump bros, that type, versus the frat bros. It's just both bros are going head to head, and there's room for others who aren't part of those worlds. That's a very interesting take because, I was up for The View, and then the executive vice president of the show producer got fired 2 weeks before I was due to do my guest week, which broke my heart because that's something. And I see the disdain for these 4, 5, 6 women who are part of the panel, or I see the disdain for somebody like a Rosie O'Donnell, who I was fortunate enough to get to see when I was in Dublin. And I'm thinking, why? What is all this hate about? Just because you have people with differing views and they happen to be women. I like that. I like that very much. So it's interesting. Your point is well taken.
But also the party doesn't care. It's like they feed off of hate. It's like that's why they're saying, hey, we're relevant. Like they don't even get it. Like they're just they're spinning it into a positive for them because they want everybody to hate them. That's their whole base is built on that.
So they're the villain and they enjoy being the villain. They want to be
it. They love it.
I love it. Hate me. Yes, kind of interesting. That's interesting.
But it's because the thing is they like being the villain because right now they're holding most of the power. Yes. And you can, being the villain when you hold the power, you can be all shady. But the thing is, the loss of that power is what they're fighting so hard to commit to. So,
but they're holding pretty strong.
Well, they're holding pretty strong, but that's because we're letting them.
We're not letting them. They're taking it.
No, we're letting them because I'm telling you, we're acting as if the place is like not a third world country anymore. When you have a president that plans a coup to overturn an election, and if we were treating these people like it was a third world country, Trump would already be out the picture. Trust me.
Ask those other countries. 100%.
He should have been held accountable swiftly, and that was a failure of Merrick Garland and some in the Democratic Party who didn't want to. They're like, we don't want to weaponize it. They made it partisan by being quiet. If they all in one voice immediately after January 6th says this guy's got to go to jail, like everyone said it, they would have been not partisan. Like the guy attempted a coup, incited attack, and they all said it at the same time over and over and over. It would have not been viewed as partisan. It became partisan when the charges got filed when he's starting to run for office again. You're like, you stepped right into his trap, you idiots. And maybe they wanted to, because we talked about Jeffrey Epstein earlier. The powerful people get benefits that none of us do. I mean, that's the reality of this.
Yeah, and also giving Kamala 100 days to campaign. I mean, that's ridiculous.
That's so. All right, let's take a break and come back. There's a lot more to talk about, including Trump's tariffs are now in effect, and we're going to see more prices. And someone had a heart attack during a bar exam, and the exam kept going. So let's take a break. Be right back with more of the show after this. And welcome back. It's still What Just Happened. Maureen Langan's here, Keith Price, and Dustin Chafin. So I found this interesting. Then we'll talk about the tariffs, which is very real. So I took the bar exam. No one had a heart attack during mine, but a person who went to the same law school I did, graduated from Fordham Law. They were for the bar exam. There's 1,000 people. You're in a big, they put them all over. The Javits Center, you have them in the big auditoriums, that kind of stuff. So a young woman in her 20s collapsed, stopped breathing, and turned blue. Students around her were telling the proctors, why are you not doing anything to help her? And they were saying, shut up and continue with the exam, the bar exam. And then finally, and the woman survived. People came in and helped her. But the proctors were like, well, we had to keep the exam going. And there's a lot of backlash to this. I'm like, maybe they were just getting ready to be cutthroat attorneys. I mean, this is part of the training. Like, it's not just a bar exam, but there's a real life ethical issue that you have to deal with. It's like, okay, and how many people are like, well, someone should help her, but I got to finish this. You know, that kind of stuff. Like that person, we're going to hire that person.
I mean, I get it. I've had a lot of fist fights in the middle of my shows, and they're just like, keep going, keep going.
Keep telling jokes.
You stay up there.
That's hilarious. You know how many billable hours this is? I think that day, a lot of personal injury lawyers were made. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
This is
13 lawsuits in there.
Yeah, I wonder what I would do. Like, if you were taking, Keith, an exam that is a key to your life, would you stop and go, okay, I'm not going to, you practice and you go to classes for months for the bar exam, because the bar exam is not like law school. It's its own little weird thing. And I wonder myself, would I be like, oh, that's hard, but I have to finish this. I mean, I'm here for the bar exam. And if they don't survive, what can I do? I wonder what I would do in that setting. That's all.
Well, but then the question becomes, if I stopped to do CPR or some sort of life-saving something during the exam because nobody else is doing anything, and then, the ambulances come or whomever comes, and then I'm stuck, waiting. I would think that I would be allowed to take the test again at another time.
Sure.
Or, now the fact that they didn't stop the exam or people didn't stop to help, that's just on their conscience. They just have to live with that. And again, it's the law school. Lawyers are cutthroat. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Destiny's Child fan with my Beyonce and Michelle and Kelly. And one of my favorite moments is on Park 106 when they were all coming out to do their number. And I believe it was Michelle who fell down as they were doing their sassy walk to the front of the stage. And they just kept walking and waited for her. They didn't wait for her. She got her behind up, ran up to those girls and caught up with that choreography. And that's what needs to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so freaking funny.
On the next bar exam, there might be an ethical question. You're taking the bar exam, and someone has a heart attack. Do you finish the exam? Do you call for help?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
how it goes.
Yeah, there's no empathy left in this country. I mean, the most surprising part about this is nobody filmed it on their phone. That's the most surprising part of this.
That's what we're assuming. Well, I mean, you couldn't have your phones in the room, probably, right, Dean?
Yeah.
If you were taking that exam?
When I took the exam, there was no such thing as cell phones. I did it. I was a caveman.
He had a flip phone in his sock.
There may have been, but you're not going to be able to use your cell phones because then you can Google answers. So you're right, Keith.
It could be in your pocket. It could be in your pocket.
There is that really frightening thing, which I hope I wouldn't be one of those people, but I think we all are to some extent. When you're in a big, huge group and there's 1,000 people and nobody does anything, you kind of look to the others and you become one of them, many lemmings. But on the other hand, I would have taken the hope, and someone said to myself, well, you know what? I could be like JFK Jr. and take it 3 or 4 more times. You see, like,
sure, take as many times as you want. There's no limit.
Well, you know,
right.
I mean,
So,
and the thing is that if you had to stop, the middle of the exam because you took the time out to give CPR to another human being because they were about to die, I think that the gods would allow you to take that exam another time, and you know what? It gives you a little bit more time to study because you don't have that panic anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not as you can take as many times as you want, but you're supposed to be getting to work as a lawyer. But I wonder, like, the other part of it is, what if you gave CPR and didn't do it right? Do the other people sue you? It's like, well, all these lawyers are watching you. They're like, you know what? You screwed that person up. Now, again, the person survived, so we can laugh. I hope the person passed the bar exam. That would be even a better rub because it was near the end of the exam, and it's only a pass-fail exam. It's not like when I got. This is true story. When I got my bar results, I was already working at a law firm. My mom calls. You got your letter from the bar exam. I said, oh, will you open it, read it? And she goes, dear Dean, we're sorry to say that. And I go, what? She goes, I'm kidding. It says you passed. And I'm like, that was my mom to me. That's not even a joke. That's literally, I'm like, what's wrong? She never does stuff like that. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you say that? Like
That's
that?
hilarious.
So it was and it was so out of her character. Like, because I had passed, I guess she thought she'd be playful. But for that moment, I was like, what? But I was confident. It's pass fail. I mean, some people fail, but most people, if you study for it in your first time, and you tend to pass. It's just memorization. I'm good at memorization. I don't remember your names, but I'm pretty good at memorization. So let's talk about tariffs. This is a real thing. So now the average tariff in America, because of Donald Trump, went from 2.4%, which was the average of all the tariffs, to now 18%.
Wow.
Some of the countries, like where we get shoes and stuff, it's going to jump 30%. Shoe prices, if these don't go away in a short time, they could jump 30%. You have massive tariffs on India, Vietnam, and others, but even the low ones are 15%. So the middle people can't eat all of that. We're going to see inflation. Mm-hmm. And Trump is like, whatever, but I have to be. And by the way, the Yale Budget Lab says the average cost to a family will be $2,400 increase. This is a Trump tax increase of $2,400 per family. It could be higher. They're estimating what people are going to pass along. I have to be honest, even before this, prices where I live, the same stores have been going up already. The food, I go grocery store a lot. They're already going up. Restaurants are already going up. This is going to be a nightmare. So, Maureen, what are you seeing? Are prices where you are, have they gone up yet? Or
well, I'm in Manhattan, and it's crazy. Restaurants are crazy. The prices
insane.
Insane. The restaurants, and I get it. People have to make a living. Listen. I grew up one of 6 kids. We didn't have a lot of money, and it was a struggle financially. But I tell you, I have a little bit of elbow room as an adult, and I want it to go so far through the roof, the prices, so that people are so undeniably angry and get him out of there. And I'll buy somebody a pair of shoes. I'll be like the Bombas does with socks. I'll be like, just buy one pair, I'll buy your other if I can afford it. I'm not. But I just want it to go through the roof. I want it to be so ridiculously high that people go, this is unsustainable. Get them out. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't know how we'll get them out like that. I like that. I think maybe it defers from seeing a third. Well, right. Yeah. Sending a message to Trump that the high prices, even in the approval ratings of Trump that are in the low 40s on, which are too high already, but still on inflation, his approval ratings like at 20%. It's going to get worse. This is a real painful thing. Dustin, you're traveling a lot. I mean, I'm not sure what you're seeing. What's going on?
Well, I think businesses are going to abuse it as well. I mean, they're going to just pretend like, it's a tariff. I mean, I paid like, $10 for a donut, you know what I mean, the other day. It's like, they're just going to say that. And I think, you know what? It's like, it's going to be like college. We're just going to have to go to thrift stores and like, buy refurbished computers. I think that's really where the mindset should be. Just kind of go against, corporate America and just like, go used, baby, go refurbished.
But Dustin makes a great point. In the time of tariffs in the past, when they raise them in the States and other countries, domestic producers won't keep their prices low. They'll raise it just to right below the tariff price because they can. And you think it's all tariffs, and they get a windfall profit. And we pay for all of it. So everything is going to go up because of the tariffs, because it's the bagel store by me actually has a sign up because they try to break it down. This bagel's like $37 now. You buy it on layaway. I got a cinnamon raisin. I'm 2 payments away from the cinnamon raisin I have my eye on. So,
great joke. Write that down.
That vote like that, Devin. I like that. Keith, what do you think, my friend? What's going on by you?
With cream cheese. You know what I mean?
Can't afford that. That's a dreamer. How dare you?
Cream cheese is too woke. You can't get that.
What are you seeing in your world about prices? I'm really a frugal shopper. Like I'll leave a store. I'm like, well, I go to Trader Joe's a lot, as people know.
I was just going to say, because I go to Trader Joe's, and the prices are pretty much where I expected them to be. But I can see that, like I don't buy a lot of eggs, so I'm not concerned about the price of eggs, so I don't live in that world. I don't drink a lot of milk, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that either. But what concerns me is that, again, we're gonna all feel the pinch eventually again. And what I hope is that these idiots that were voting for this understand now why they need to read a book, or why they need to at least pick up a leaflet. It's like, here we are with all these smartphones and we have a country full of idiots. You know what I'm saying? So like, I hope that they get it now, that they can see how they have not only fucked the rest of us, but also have messed up themselves as well. So I don't know. I'm trying to lose weight anyway, so the less I eat, the better off I am. So
you could do a commercial like, I lost 25 pounds on Donald Trump's inflation diet.
Tariff.
Right? Like you have before and after, and tariffs went up, my weight went down. I'm Keith Price. I'm killing it today. This is my best show ever.
That's another joke. Yeah.
Dean, you have to do a weekly graph of the tariff increases and Keith's weight loss, and see what you have to do. A weekly graph.
I'm going to turn on a special. Nate Bargatze's doing this joke about this. I'm like, that Chafin. He gave
trust me. Trust me. He's not doing political. That's why he's where he's at.
Yeah. I know. It's kind of smart, isn't it? Like, look at
stay away.
Gaffigan's special, last one, and he stayed away from politics forever. Sort of weighed in a little bit, and
on Twitter he weighed in. That's kind of hurt him a little bit, actually.
Who, Jim?
Jim, yeah.
Yeah, he did, and I talked about it with him. Because he was doing an interview for his documentary, not his time, his latest special about losing weight and everything like that with that. And he said, he avoided it forever, and just touching it, just the littlest thing, drove people crazy because they liked him because he wasn't political. Like, it's weird if you're not political at all and then you become political, you are going to alienate some people. If you're always political and then you back off it, then you also alienate some of your base. Like, you're selling out. Why are you not talking about this person here? But
yeah. I tend to do it from crowd to crowd. You know what I mean?
You do, really?
Yeah. Like if it's a space that's not, they're going to react, then, I've lost that trying to be Bill Hicks. I'm just trying to pay the bills. You know what I mean? I'm a sellout. I don't care. Yeah.
I wonder if younger people know Bill Hicks, but I would watch Bill Hicks specials. No, if you do, Keith, yes, but I mean like younger comedy fans in their 20s. But I'm
from Austin.
Oh, you're from Austin? No, I know you know who Bill Hicks is. I'm not saying you don't. I said, say Keith. I said younger, like people in their 20s, if they ever heard of him. But to me, the most amazing thing about Bill Hicks is that I can never do is he didn't care about being liked. Like he really didn't care about being liked on stage. And I'm too needy. Like, so I like the edginess, but I could do an edgy joke, but with a smile. I still need to be liked. He did not. He had such a freedom about it. Didn't care at all. It was remarkable. So, all right, Maureen, I wanted to go back to you, Maureen, because you're traveling around doing comics like Dustin is and Keith at times. What are you seeing out there? I call these the comedic indicators. Like there's the economic indicators. The comedic indicators are real. While they're anecdotal, you're getting a slice in real time. Are people not going to the clubs? They're going the weekends, yes, but Tuesday and Wednesdays, or you're touring Thursdays, they're not there. Like, what are you seeing?
What I am seeing a lot of, well, two things I'm seeing. One is, we all know this, it comes down to butts and seats. So how many followers do you have on social media?
Right.
So I am working with people who aren't skilled, who are able to put butts in seats. I'm also seeing this thing too. I saw this a lot overseas, but I'm seeing it in American comics too. I like good crowd work and I love to connect with the audience and bring it back into what I'm doing. But I see so many comedians not getting back to the meat and potatoes of their act. And
exactly.
And I've had some people go, "Oh, you've been doing that bit for years." Yeah, maybe, but I do it in a new way, a nuanced way. I use it in and out. It's a musical piece, and I'm updating it, but now people just want whatever you just riff on the audience with, put that up, get 1 million followers, and then get booked. So that's disappointing to me because I feel the art and the craft of it isn't as respected as I want it to be. But I think by other comedians it is. But we see
Yeah.
what's going on.
I mean, I think it's a double-edged sword. I mean, there was a time when the only way you got work is if you got the Tonight Show, and that was it, or you got like a Letterman credit. Now it's like it's in our hands, even though it is annoying when somebody's not skilled and they get all these followers, but we can go to the fan base. That's the first time we've ever been able to do that, where it's like if you talk about stuff that is important to you and you find an audience, then they'll stay with you. And I think that's the thing. You don't have to be some huge famous person to make a living at stand-up. So that is kind of the grassroots
point too. And I think that it empowers us. This is, as I say to my friends who are reluctant, who've been doing comedy 25, 30 years, reluctant to use social media. I'm like, this is the new television, people.
It is.
While get on board.
I am so big on MySpace that it is so sad. Where we're like, that had
I made
go,
your top 8 once. I used it as a credit. I was like, Dean
remember
top
they
8.
had all the time. No, but I try to use it, and it is an opportunity for people. And then I do talk to comics who have been doing it for years, who are like middling for a headliner who doesn't have an act but has a really big following, and that's the world we live in. I know. And the headliner can still follow the middler, who's much better because everyone's there to see that headliner. So anything the person says is funny.
Yeah, but if you're good, their audience will follow you, and that's exactly how the whole circle works. Like if you can do that, like I work with these big people, and a lot of times their people follow me and support me. So.
That's great. All right. Yeah. You know what? Last topic I want to touch on here, just a couple of minutes, because I think it's fun. It's intriguing to me. Google is who I pay a fee to protect my account. Google got hacked this week. They breached one of their databases. A cyber criminal hacking group broke into their Salesforce database systems. But I think it's interesting. Google said they know who the group is. It's called Shiny Hunters. Like, if you know who they are, why didn't you guard again? Why you can't? They're called Shiny Hunters. Like, I think it's funny they had a name. Oh, it's the Shiny Hunters again. You're Google. If you're not safe, if you can't protect your database, if Shiny Hunters comes for me, I'm dead. Have you guys ever been hacked? Any of you ever been hacked?
Yeah. Knock on wood, no.
Keith's never been hacked. Dustin got hacked. What happened?
Yeah, Instagram. I think it was like a comedian who like messaged me, and I ended up in some crypto thing. I don't know what happened, but they took over my Instagram account, and it was the worst, because then they're just like, just putting messages out that I'm not. It's the most anxiety you'll feel when somebody's pretending to be you and then just sending stuff to your followers.
I had that in Facebook. Yeah. Somebody took my name, and because I guess they want to have a mediocre career. So,
well, they're booking. They're middling the they're headlining the Chuckle Hut. I had my Twitter taken, and again, it was, I don't even know how. It was a cyber thing. And they just changed my name. They changed the image like instantly, and they're just posting things about cyber. It didn't say Dean Obeidallah anymore, it said cyber, but the SiriusXM IT people helped me because they have, connections to the different platforms, and we were able to get it back. But I was thinking, what if I didn't have SiriusXM helping me? I would have been begging Twitter, and Musk had laid everybody off.
It's
so
scary.
If you didn't have a connection, you're not getting your account back. And we got it back. And I still use it, but it was very weird. I'm like, what's this person tweeting? At least it wasn't political stuff like, I love Trump, greatest president ever. I'm like, what?
We would know then it was hacked for sure. Then people would know. What about the eat a bag of dicks, the bag of dicks, the green dicks, the dildos that are being chucked? That they said the chucking of the dildos onto the women playing basketball at places around the country, the dildo chuckers, they're crypto people. They know who they are.
Oh, they do.
What's with these crypto dudes that needs? What's with chucking dicks? Like, why?
My thing is just don't go to the game. If you got that big of an issue with the players or the playing, then don't go.
You have to go.
People are now taking dicks and chucking them because they want to be in on this little stunt. You know how when the dance, the airport dance becomes a big deal. Now they're chucking green dicks.
And that's when, at this moment, someone should throw a green dick into here. I'm like, oh, look at that. All right, before we run out of time, I want everyone to plug their work.
You better stop tempting me, Dean. You better cut that out.
You
better cut it out.
He's going to a closet.
Speaking of dicks,
exactly. You better cut it out.
Yeah, Keith's going to the cupboard after this. So everyone, Maureen, where can people follow your great work, my friend?
Please follow me on Instagram, and I am on Facebook, Maureen Langan, Langan. Love you to follow me there, and I will, and TikTok as well, Langan, and I'll be out on the West Coast the last 2 weeks of August doing some shows out there.
Great, my friend. And Keith Price, where can people follow you?
They find me, Keith Price. I'm sorry, HeathPriceCurtainCall.com for all things Broadway and fabulousness. Look for me later on this fall. I'll be doing my one-person show.
Oh, great.
We're gonna wrap it up at some point. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Come find me. I'm around.
Great. Mr. Chafin, where can people follow you?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. That's the only one I care about anymore. At Dustin Chafin on Instagram. And yeah, check out my episode on WTF with Mark Maron. I'm really proud of it. It was great. Guys, I feel he's the one that's kind of going against the grain. He's calling out all the podcasters on the right and all that stuff. So it was a really cool episode.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I'll be headlining the Burbank Comedy Festival. Come out for that Monday, my birthday, on August 11th.
Oh, happy birthday. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All three of you were great.